Welcome back to episode 4. Just going to go ahead and show you a couple things that I've done before we get started. I have finished the upholstery for all seats and all walls. The photo here and this one right here, you see a bubble in the wall. That's the old upholstery that I tried to do myself. I had a professional do it, but here's the front seats and they look amazing. Alright, one thing I've been dreading is the front suspension on this van. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it is a 36-year-old van now at this point in the video. So I wanted to make sure that everything was safe. But as I got to digging into it, I figured if I were to put my family in this, I would want to make sure that everything was completely safe and tight. So I'm going to replace the whole front end suspension. Alright, ripping into the front suspension now. I got the hub removed. 35-year-old vehicle, it's fun. I'm going to go ahead and change the upper control arms, lower control arms, shock struts. I went ahead and already changed the outer tie rod ends. I'm sorry, the outer and inner on the right. I still have the left to do. And I did the right sway bar link. So, it's actually going better than expected. Saving a lot of money doing it myself. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the lower control arms, spring and shock. I was going to go ahead and change this bushing here for this sway bar, but it's actually fine. I ordered new bushings, took all this off. The new bushings from O'Reilly's don't fit this, but the old bushings are in great shape, so I don't know if somebody changed those before I got it or what. But so lower control arm is installed. The springs and shocks will be in tomorrow, so I'll install the rest of it. See, that's the old sway bar link right there. See how nasty that is? You see the brand new one here with the blue. So that's nice. Alright, so I've done the tie rod ends. They're brand new. Brand new drag link. Those are new idler arms. Where's the other one? Oh, right there, you'll see that there. New sway bar links. The new sway bar bushings come in tomorrow. And I've got the new lower control arms pretty much already installed. Just got to torque them right. And then tomorrow my springs, shocks come in so I can finish everything else. Alright, so van suspension is done. As you can see, lower control arms have been removed. Upper control arms. Both of the idler arms, both shocks and springs, all tie rod ends. The sway bar links, I also did the sway bar bushings. I threw those in the trash. And then the whole drag arm. So it is a complete brand new suspension. As you can see, these are ready to go. Now, of course, this sway bar going across, it's a sway bar. It's changed all the bushings and links. And the bar is rusty, but it's a 36-year-old bar. So it's still solid, good shape. But you see all new ball joints, all new joints, everything's good to go. After quite a little bit of time off, I'm back to the van. So we're going to work on the interior. We're going to do the final push to get all this done. This is going to get carpeted when I do the front. I need to hook up the water lines. I need to finish this door right here. All that's broken down there, as you can see here. But I'll be able to fix that, no problem. I got it rigged for now. And then I pulled out this air conditioner. And the cabinets have kind of been shaped to what they're going to be. And just everything's just put there. It's not nailed in. So there's a little bit I got to do. There's something wrong with this camera phone now, or this phone. The video shakes. I got a new one. I just got to transfer the service. So I gotta finish the upper cabinets and close the back slot. It'll look like this part over here, and this insulation just fell down on this side. And got to fix that back hatch. Just going to recarpet it, or I might even try to use the same flooring here, see if I can adhere it to it and make it look seamless. If I can, I'm going to do that. That way there's no carpet in here at all in the back. It's the next day. I hadn't worked on this yet. I hadn't got to it, but I did pull the door off. All I'm going to have to do for this, what it is this part down here is all broke, as you can see. So I'm gonna cut it about here, add a new piece in here, glue it, tack it, and it should be good to go. Re-put everything back up. And as you see, she has a clasp here, so it'll stop it from opening while we're driving down the road. Also good news, I got the hatch pretty much done. All the wood's cut out and laid out. I don't have it adhered to the boards yet, and I do need to go back. I bought the wrong hinges, but that's okay. It's just a few things. So I'll buy some new hinges and some new trim. Like you see that metal trim piece back here. I'm gonna buy one for the new one for there and one to go here. Also, the two upper cabinet door and facings are done. I have to add the last hinges in the middle. I just wanted to get everything fit. But what I had to end up doing is form these and then take a level and get them to where they were all right in place. And it, as you can see, this is how much I had to cut off the board. So what I did was I measured how wide the saw was from the guard all the way to the blade. And then as you see, I put me a little line in here. I put a little cheater board down here, and all I did was just take the skill saw and go straight down to down the line. I went ahead and used the chalk line like I was saying and got the perfect line. And now that I do, everything's perfect, flush. This one is just a slight bit down. I just have to adjust the hinge, not a big deal. So now I really need to work on getting the inside of all of this boxed out and laid out like I like. And we have arrived at the worst part of this whole project. These upper windows. These skylight windows have been an absolute nightmare. The problem is whenever they made the vans, there was no set mold, and they were all a little bit different. So whenever I ordered new windows from the only place that manufactures them to order is out of Canada, perfect time during the tariffs too. I actually had to cut them down to fit into the holes that you see here. So I took the old windows out, and boy was it fun getting the new ones in. But after kind of trimming them down, which I'm about to show you how I did this, I was able to get them in and they look great. So the first thing that I did was I took a piece of rigid cardboard and secured it really tight with somebody holding it to the outside. Went inside and traced the exact size and shape of the windows. Alright, so now that I have them cut out, I got one of these scribes here, and I've measured the inside part of the gasket, and it looks like I need a 1/4 inch gap between the window and the window frame of the van. So I measured a 1/4 inch with this little compass scribe, and I'm going around this thing, and it's actually pretty cool. So let me show you how it works here. So I'm trying to do this one with one hand, but you basically just put it on the edge of the cardboard and scribe across. So you get the point. I've done these two, and I'm doing the last one now. So once you mark it, you cut it. Voila! I used an X-Acto knife. Perfect. Shout out to my bourbon. That is a nice Weller Antique 107. Nice. Alright, so now you can see they're done. They're all installed. You have to use a special pigtail little tool to actually put the gasket into place, but everything is good to go. And as you can see here, I went ahead and changed all of the RV dome lights, all the LED dome lights. So those are brand new, bright 4,000 LEDs. Moved on to the water line. So on the driver's side of the van is where the pressurized city water comes into from the garden hose. So everything in here was that old poly whatever pipe, that gray pipe. I've changed everything out to PEX A, and then the PEX B line is the 3/8 line that goes to the toilet, but everything else is going to be 1/2 inch PEX A with the compression fittings. I like these a lot. But I have the city water coming in right now. I've got a valve to shut off the toilet if I ever need to, and I have a valve to shut off the cold water that's going to the sinks. This will actually eventually tee off into a possible little hot water heater to go to the heat. But so right now I have this ran stopped here. I took the faucet out. I'll probably change it because it's just old, and maybe it won't leak when I put it back together. I'll test it in a minute and see, but I may just go ahead and replace it while I'm here. But that's all done, and then ran to the toilet, and the toilet flushes. So we have a functioning toilet. So now that we have the water line to the toilet fixed, I went ahead and fixed the sink as well. And whenever I got to looking at the old faucet, which is this one in this picture right here, I decided that I didn't want to take a chance of installing everything, putting it all back together in these tight spaces, and it be leaking, because by the time I take it apart, go get some different fittings and all that, this thing was very cheap on Amazon. It's an RV bathroom. It's an RV bathroom faucet, but it's beautiful and perfect for this sink, because before, this is how high the spout was. So now I can actually put something large on it. So, for instance, I can fill up this cup. And I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. Works great. And drains work great, obviously. So, let me show you what I did here. I went up to the cold water, as I told you yesterday. Open the valve now, so I got the cold water going through. And that right here, you're hearing is this drain. I think there's actually something maybe clogging it, like some debris, spider webs and leaves, things like that. Stuff I had in there. That's going to be a really easy fix. The hot water is right here. I went ahead and capped it, so if you turn on the cold water, it wouldn't fly through everywhere. So this is, if you ever want to hook up a hot water heater, you just simply tie into that and you're good to go. The pump, this was a fiasco. The freshwater tank, female threading on the tank seems to be stripped. So whenever I hook up water to it, especially a pressurized water, the fitting was leaking very bad. So I'm either going to have to figure out something with that little valve or that spigot, whatever it is, the threading, or I'm just going to bypass that with a different style tank altogether. More on that later. Well, it's later, and here's more on that. So I took a picture to show you here that the threads were not as stripped as I thought. There are a couple rounded threads in here, but if you don't over tighten the fitting and you use the fibrous pipe thread sealant, you're more than fine, especially because it's not a high pressure line. Here's where the water actually comes into the van, where you go into your freshwater holding tank. And here's a little special hose fitting the previous owner made. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the water. How do you know when it's full? When it starts to overflow. And just about full. There we go. See how it's pouring out real good? That's when it's full. Now the moment of truth. Let's check the plumbing and see if our leak is fixed. Now we know we're gonna have water leaking from here. It comes down here, falls along here, kind of comes behind it, and in front of here, as you can see, right there and there. Sweet. That fitting right there is not leaking at all. Now, I had this stuff just laying around. I had a threaded coupling there, another one here, and I had that from, I think, an old paint sprayer I had to where you can hook that to it and wash it. So now that all of that is done and the water tank is holding, I came in here and repaired everything and added the pump back into the system. So, kind of tell you what I did. The only thing I really did is I put a T here and I added a check valve here. So, what that's doing is it's preventing water from backflowing into the pump whenever I hook it into the city water. And from the last video I showed you, you saw the check valve that's hanging under that. That does the same exact thing. But it's gonna help prevent the pump from backflowing out of the city water spigot. So it is all done. I now have pump. So let's check a couple things. System check time. All right, let's do the test first. All right, I have a full fresh tank. That's right. The gray tank is a third full, so that's correct too. The battery right now says it's low. I don't have the front battery up there installed. I just have this one. So that looks like that's all good to go. All right, let's check it out. Turn on the pump. It's priming. Let's see if I need to. Yeah, I gotta help it prime. Alright, yeah, so it had air in the line and the pump wasn't priming. So now I have city water and I have pump. So it shows the battery's full now. I don't know what happened earlier. You can see everything's really starting to come together. The little bitty small things like replacing this. This right here is where the table poles go in and mount. So I'll replace the one over here and the one back here. I was waiting to finish the floors until the toilet was done because I had plumbing and stuff that goes under that. So that's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and finish. I have these pieces set aside somewhere, so I'm going to grab them, put them back in, and then I'm going to do the baseboard molding. Once I get done with that, I'll glue that hatch, put the proper hardware on it. The floors are done, so getting very close. Finish this door here and finish boxing in and closing in the back. Now the front of the van is a little bit of a different story. I still have to bring it into the upholstery guy to get the front carpet installed, and I'm going to bring it to my body and paint guy, and he's going to repaint this whole engine cover there. And once that's done and I finish this flooring back here, it's going to be a brand new camper van on the inside. And what my wife told me she would once never ride in or sleep in, she's changed her mind. That's a good thing. I've cut out most of the floors. I have a couple more to do. I'm going to do that next weekend. But I got the edges, or the baseboards basically cut out. I'm going to get some angle iron, actually angle aluminum, and I'm going to mire the joints and all that, make this nice and clean. But I brought the table in to show you what it looks like when the table's set up. Now this table, I'm going to redo the table. I think what I'm going to end up doing is basically taking that really nice marble looking contact paper and covering it and then retrimming it. That's probably what I'll do for the countertop too. But this is what it looks like at night. Nice and bright. I've started on the floors up here. Actually, that's all done. I just got to do the inside. And the upholstery guy is going to do the carpet in the front. One light I still got to add is this one here. It was that fluorescent light there. Not going to put that back. Going to actually put an LED back. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope to tackle the rest of the interior, so I'll have a final interior build out for the next video. I appreciate you watching.